Hello and welcome to another jungle tutorial, and in this one I'm going to be taking a look at one of my own games and giving to you an example of what you need to do if all lanes require your help. In essence, how to be in all three lanes at one time to have that high kill participation to get a lot of the kills early. Control the map in not just kills and map pressure and ganks, but also through objective taking, counter ganking, and effectively making the enemy team feel like they don't even have a jungler because you are being so dominating. And along with how to play when all lanes lose, this shows you how to control all three lanes. Combine those together should give you a good solid foundation to get some wins. All of that with fancy effects and more coming up in 15 seconds. Right, now from the outset we cover first clears a lot in these videos. For Warwick, a single target champion, you don't want to waste time on Krugs, on Raptors. That is merely a waste of time, a depletion of resources, and delays the impact you can have on lanes by too much. So pretty much every game, depending on what side I start, I will always do red buff, plus the whole blue side. Which side you want to begin with is obviously up to you. And you know firsthand the Evelynn might be more inclined to do a full clear. She might start in Raptors, she could start in red. She definitely has a higher clear diversity. Now, when you hit that level 3, it gives you more than enough time to look for multiple ganks before you fall back to crab control. Now, part of the strategy is, if you really want to put everyone in your backpack and be in every lane at once, is you need a jungler who can move around the map quickly. Now, yes, this is of course unique to Warwick's W, using that to rotate quickly to depleted resource enemies. However, champions like Evelynn are very good at this as well, especially once she hits level 6. Kayn can do this, Shyvana, Taliyah, any champion with some kind of movement speed bonus, some kind of passive or active ability that lets you rotate quickly can use this kind of strategy. So upon hitting level 3, the top laners are low, so at this point I don't know which lane is going to be the hard carry, I don't know which lane is going to feed or suck or do whatever. I'm going about my early game plan, and that is ganking as soon as I can. Mid lane is pushing, we don't get anything, but we get a good chunk. And what did I say you guys need to do with this new crab meta? Make your own lane priority. Because I ganked the mid lane and pushed her off and chunked the enemy mid, I have mid lane backup when that crab spawns, and I can push Evelynn off with a few simple pings. Yes, sometimes people won't come, but even in this case the Evelynn would be foolish having used her W on the crab to engage in a level 3 fight versus a Warwick. As such, that gives me crab control. Evelynn hits the plant, which reveals me, and naturally, this case you sometimes want to mislead the enemy, but I know given that both top laners are low HP, she's most likely thinking I'm going to head up there and that she needs to counter gank me. In reality, I actually want to counter gank her. Jax goes a little bit too ham, Evelynn starts her charm, Jax hits a beautiful stun, I flash and hit my stun. This forces the enemy to have to use their flashes to chase down the Jax and gives me a nice double kill. No escape for them into the enemy minion wave. Not a good decision by the enemy. It definitely gave a huge lead to the enemy jungler, and when the enemy junglers are Warwick or any champion with a strong early mid game power spike who can also rotate very quickly, you don't really want to give them such a free double kill this early on. The whole concept of being in every lane at once means you have to gank in every lane at once, while also react and anticipate the enemy jungler's moves. If you're looking at how to track the enemy jungler, I did a full video on that I'll put in the description. But for now, my goal here is to rotate to lanes using my W passive and exert as much pressure as possible, and then fall back to my camps afterwards. I dodged the Lux stun, but because my teammate was on the right button, it doesn't go off, and Draven gets away. That's quite tilting, frustrating. Make sure your items are on the right spots. Also note how I pushed the wave up. Because my bottom wave was huge, it was going to slow push into the tower. You want to deny the CS and you want to force it to reset. You don't want to give the enemy the ability to freeze at any capacity, especially if the enemy has already killed your bottom lane. I'm moving up using good pathing so that the scuttle crab would not detect me. We talked about this in the vision tricks video. Remaining hidden, getting a deep ward on a camp for Evelynn, because remember, when Evelynn's 6, if she does a camp, it will reveal her. Control wards will reveal her when she is invisible, and this gives me a little bit of vision control, and then I can slide back down using the same pathing so I'm completely undetected, do my Krugs, loop around, and take that Ocean Drake. When you are Warwick, when you are a champion like this, you want to be able to secure objectives. Vi is a great example of this as well. You have a Soraka on your team, and you have laners who are dying, being pushed in, and not winning overall. This means giving an Ocean Drake to your whole team is really nice early. It gives a bit of extra sustain to trades and to fights so that maybe they won't, feed as much. But the extension of this play is that the Evelyn had taken her Grump, which means she's not on this side of the map very clearly. That means she's most likely 99% on the top side of the map, clearing the second spawn of those camps. And you can see from her perspective that in fact she is currently on Krugs as I'm doing the dragon. Now, when the dragon dies, you have to be aware of your resources available to you from soloing the dragon, as well as where the enemy jungler could be. The Evelyn ganks on the mid lane trying to get something pre-6, assuming that because I did the dragon I wouldn't be in position to counter gank, but unfortunately for her, the fact that it's an Ocean Drake gives me enough mana to use my ultimate on the Aurelia, and we actually win that fight. I grab another kill, Evelyn's gank is thwarted, and she again has to back out of the situation. This is what you're looking to do when you're facing an Evelyn. A Warwick is great versus Evelyn just because of the W passive, and you can see where she is even if she's camouflaged, and the fact that you can exert enough pressure and counter ganks that she never really gets the ball rolling, and that's what we're focusing on in this game. Naturally here you can go back to buy, get an item spike, go back, get your second red buff, clear your jungle camps. You know you have a lead and the enemy jungler, so when you have a lead on the enemy jungler in this situation, you can try and invade their second buffs, counter jungle, apply 1v1 pressure, knowing that they won't be able to handle you. Fortunately, Evelyn shows on the bottom lane, so we know where she is. Good warding by the bot lane. Won't always happen, but sometimes, they do understand to use that control ward. And this is where I don't see it enough, but if you want to carry your whole team, if you want to be in every lane, if you want to have that ever presence, you have to give up the red buff steal. Don't sit there, take the red buff and complain to your mid laner for dying when you knew where Evelyn was. Take it into your own hands. What's more important in this case, counter ganking and getting a kill, or stealing the red buff? Naturally here, counter ganking, killing the Aurelia, use the Q through the minions to get the E-Fear, then ult right afterwards to get the chain CC. Evelyn's forced to burn her ultimate, and again, Warwick has another kill. Good rotations, good read on the Evelyn. That's 2 counter ganks in a row, a dragon, and you've ganked every single lane. All of this in the flow of clearing your camps without making them the focus. And now you see, because of your map presence, because of the impact you're having, the Jax has time to go and invade the Evelyn on her red buff. He isn't able to steal it, he isn't able to kill her, but that pressure's good. We know where she is now, that's all you need as a jungler. I try drive-by gank on the top lane, but remember, Nasus, ultimate, huge minion wave, Jax low HP. It's not really a fight you're looking to do. I see a lot of people in bronze, silver, gold try and force these ganks. The fact that you shot up is great, bit of pressure relief. Now rotate down to your Grump. Now because of the good vision control that you've had as a team, you can see the Evelyn on the red buff, and then she's going to rotate to the mid lane, which means you want to be in position to counter gank that yet again. Vladimir can be quite difficult to gank anyway because of his pull. The fact that Evelyn's coming in so soon, it means she's forcing it. They're getting frustrated and not getting anything going. You can move on in, flash E-Fear, chomp the Evelyn, burn the Aurelia's flash, and then chase her down. Yeah, you can make a few mistakes, you throw your Tiamat out for no reason because you misclick, but it's okay, it shows you're in total control, and then snap that kill also. This also means we can hit the plant and secure the Scuttle Crab that spawned. Now we've had a great impact on the mid lane. We've counter ganked through jungle intuition, through immediate rotations, as well as through a predictive counter gank. We've secured a dragon, we've had a few ganks on the top lane, and we've only gone once in the bottom lane. So now, the bottom lane is not in the best state. You want to make sure you take your lead there as well. If you want to have that presence in every lane, and you want to take all the kills, you need to make sure that your impact is felt all over the map, not on the Grump's face. So as Ashe ults, Evelyn executes a nice gank. I simply ult in to secure at least one kill for us, and then I back out. I burn the Evelyn's flash. You can see she is tilted. She is not feeling good about this game. She's annoyed that once again, I have shown up for a counter gank. They didn't know I was coming, and maybe Ashe went in a little bit too soon. I should have hit my W, rotated in, and we could have had a different outcome, but nonetheless, we get a 1-for-1. It's not the end of the world. And because it's forced the Evelyn back, it gives me priority on that mountain dragon, which I can quickly take. And then what's this? Another fight on the mid lane. Well, I'm just gonna rotate up. Here's another Warwick trick. When someone's running away from you, and you have a teammate in tow, Q through them, let your fear go off so they go back towards your teammate, and pick up your 8th kill. Not a bad game. And now with all hard carry performances, you sometimes have to have that extended sequence. Maybe you want to go back, maybe you need to buy, but you have to react to the information and the action on the map in order to deny and gain leads for yourself. So we secure that first tower because I've ganked mid enough now. Vladimir's had enough dings on the plates, so that's a free first tower. And then you'll notice, hey, look at the low HP enemies in the bottom lane. I'm Warwick, I can rotate very quickly, and don't say, well, you can only do this as Warwick. I can list you 10 different champions that could make an impact on this gank here. Nocturne, Rengar, Evelyn if you're not a piece of toast. And with the ultimate, yes, we don't hit someone, it's just to close the gap. We kill the Draven, we burn the stopwatch from the Lux, and once again we have another lead. Now this is a little trick, okay? This is reading the enemy jungle. So my bot lane says, hey, let's push this tower. I say, well, okay, yeah, sure, we can do that. But you'll notice the Aurelia is moving down. You have to anticipate camouflage champions. She's going to look for some kind of pick, and I'll just quickly switch to my personal view here. You see my W passive is revealing her, and so I cancel my back. I know what's going to happen. We switch back to third person, you see the Lux ults trying to stop the back, and Evelyn reveals herself. Well, with Soraka throwing down some space aids, I fear Evelyn on the space aid. She gets stuck in time and questions her very existence, and then she dies. It's pretty straightforward, really. So, 10 kills, 2 dragons, a demoralized enemy jungler. What do you do next? And you'll notice I haven't really counter jungled that much. It's just been reading where she's going to be, ganking of my own volition, and taking dragons whenever there's an opportunity. We've got this hugely fed mid lane because of the amount of times you just showed up in that lane. Don't forget to use your pings to guide, they're very useful. You want to take your lead into other lanes to get towers, to continue the push on the enemy. So in this case, Vladimir wants to run with me, ping him off the scuttle because clearly it's taken and we would be seen. Let's go around the top side. It's not warded, Jax has an excellent control ward that's been there for quite a while. I use my Fear and Ultimate to chain CC the Nasus along with Jax. That's a free tower for us. It's a 3-man push with a Mountain Dragon, a Jax and a Warwick. That's a second tower for us as well. The enemy is in no position to stop it. I ping them to go to the Herald. We hop over the plant. Another objective taken. Huge haul, 2 extended sequences, quick rotations between lanes, getting multiple towers, getting a dragon, getting a Herald. All of this building upon a good early read at level 3. So naturally it's on us now to take our lead and close the game. As the super fed member, it's my responsibility to make sure that happens, and that wouldn't be complete without the classic Virkayu miss every single skill shot for no particular reason other than the fact that he's old, but you know, at least I still killed Evelyn. You gotta give me that. I tracked her and I killed her, so that's pretty good, right? It wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. And from that, you can ping your team and say, hey, let's use the Herald, let's push together. Now be very careful in these situations. You take a tower, maybe you get an inhib tower, don't overstay. When teams get fed, especially in mid MMRs, teams can get very greedy to end too soon. The enemy knows what they're doing. In bronze, the same thing, you just overstay and start tower diving, get your towers, back off. Here we die. I give them shutdown gold on a 12 kill Warwick. That's not very good. And then right after that, the other super fed member on my team, the Vladimir, goes into the mid lane for no reason, and he's now dead because he just wanted to push too soon without waiting for our team to coalesce again and get those item spikes. But when that does happen, and the enemy thinks they can get a dragon, you have to remember that you are way ahead of the enemy jungler. You can get that steal, you can survive because of your good itemization. Well, you know, eventually. Currently I'm greedy and going for Triforce. Wouldn't normally do it, but you know, I'm super fed. So I steal the dragon, I survive long enough for the Vladimir to come help, we switch targets perfectly, and well, I live. More gold, more kills, more dragons, more ways to close the game. When you are super fed, you have to pull the trigger on this kind of stuff. If you die here and you lose a dragon, it's not the end of the world. Maybe you give them access to the Baron, but they're not really in position to do that, given I know the rest of the enemy team has gone back to base or has died. And now to win this game, it comes down to 2 specific events. My team is struggling to get together to close the game out, which I'm sure you all identify with. I pick up as many kills as I can in these fights. I try and do my job in these fights to keep my team alive so that if we do wipe, you know, they're not in position to really take anything. However, the enemy has gained a little bit of confidence, which we can punish with a good fight in the mid lane. I can chase down the Draven with my W passive, and then we can easily take that Baron. During the downtime, I've actually also secured a 3rd Mountain Dragon. That's the first play, and the second play is basically to summarize the jungle matchup in this one. I press W knowing the Evelyn's going to want to flank. I see her with my W passive. I fear her, I ult her, and that's all she wrote, or in this case, what she didn't write. From here, you can basically brute force the end, get a few kills, make sure you're rotating to the proper lanes to secure those extra kills. You see, along with my full build, I survive under tower in our final push. Yes, I die, but I'm tanking for ages, and I'm isolating the Nasus from my team so that they can actually just clean up the kill and push to win. So I hope you're able to see how I rotate and path quickly using my camps as fallback, gaining good objective control by tracking the enemy jungler, also having good counter ganks, and then ganking it in every single lane before focusing on pushing towers, getting heralds, and basically taking control of the game, controlling team fights, and identifying that one other member on your team that's going to help you win, in this case the Vladimir. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you were able to enjoy and learn something at the same time. I enjoy doing these kind of videos, so make sure to like and comment, maybe share it if you did. Subscribe for more League of Legends and jungle videos coming just like this one, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.